Hey, AP Lang, happy Tuesday. Today we're going to talk a little bit about paragraphs and evidence, and then we'll kind of roll with it. Today I'm going to keep it short and sweet so that you have time to do all of the things you need to do. Okay, so over on Friday, you guys actually wrote your own example, and I'm going to be checking those out today and tomorrow. So I wanted to give you an example one that you could break down yourself. All right, sorry, I had to move to a place to charge my computer because it's about to die. Okay, so this is a student sample, and I have tried to do my best to highlight the different elements within one of the body paragraphs just so that you could go through and see a good example. I thought that this one was a pretty decent example, but I also think that you could have this person, this is an actual student, could have answered some more of that so what. So that's that light blue. So just remember, so what means like, why is this evidence significant? Why would someone need to know what it is that you're saying and why is it important? So I'll read through it, talk about it a little bit, and you can just take this for what you need it to be. One of the ways Louvre conveys his message that Americans are losing their connection to nature is through comparison and anecdotes. For example, he tells the story of a friend who refused a backseat monitor in her new SUV and the shock of the salesman at her decision, which was clearly not a popular one. This was even more effective when Louvre juxtaposed it with a hypothetical anecdote. I think that right there, I'm just going to stop. They could have gone into like more significance. Like I love how they're talking about like it's juxtaposing these two situations. However, like I think you could have answered, so what? Why is it significant that the man was um, surprised? That's what I know we talked about that a lot in class, so hopefully you guys are onto that. In which Americans describe for some future generation how we used to look out the window from the back seat. He includes imagery here of watching the birds on wires, cornfields going by, and counting crows, horses, and coyotes in lines 61 through 67. The contrast of this imagery to the one of the backseat monitor from the previous anecdote is powerful, as it illustrates the connection that is being lost, particularly in the younger generations for whom technology has always been close at hand. Clearly, Louv's use of comparison through the two anecdotes illustrates the differences between the connection we used to have, even from the backseat of a car, and the lack of connection because of today's technology. So you can kind of walk yourself through, see the claim, the transitions. They're okay. I think that you always want to be with your transitions trying new things though. So like if every paragraph uses those same transitions, you would want to try to switch it up. So don't think, oh, we should always use for example or clearly or finally. Just kind of make sure within each paragraph is different than the one before. And then always come back to that connection of the prompt at the end. So that's an example for you to check out if you want to see one. Okay, so today when we're looking at evidence, there are four steps that you want to walk yourselves through. So step one, after you come up with your topic sentence, try to uncover the key ideas and choices to prove in a paragraph. So we're going to actually be like looking at some topic sentences and then deciding what kind of evidence we would find to support that topic sentence. You then want to look for specific examples in that passage, capture the main ideas of the paragraph. Three, quickly evaluate the extent to which they prove the main ideas. So is your evidence really coming back and proving that a main idea? And if so, is it doing it in the right way? And then select the two examples that prove the idea. So that's a big thing to remember. So when you're looking through these passages, you might find multiple things that work, but make sure you pick the one that you feel is the best. Okay, so, if you guys could take a second to read this, you can pause. I'll read the prompt and talk about it a little bit, but then we're going to look at a student sample topic sentence and kind of talk about the things that this student picked. So go ahead and pause and read the passage after I have read your prompt here. In 1588, Queen Elizabeth I of England addressed her troops assembled at Tilbury, a town on the Thames River, to repel an unexpected invasion of England by troops serving the King of Spain. Read the passage carefully. Write an essay that analyzes the rhetorical choices Queen Elizabeth makes to convey her capabilities as a leader. Okay, so take a second and read that, and then we'll come back and talk. Okay, so now that you've had time to look at the passage, this is another student sample topic sentence. So we're going to look at the topic sentence and then try to find some evidence that this student could use to support and then therefore, build that body paragraph. Queen Elizabeth asserts her dominance and prowess as a female leader to highlight her authority. So I kind of have those arrows in places that I thought you could then find examples to support them. So the question you always want to be thinking is like, if that's my topic sentence, what choices does Queen Elizabeth make to achieve that claim that you're stating? Okay, so once again, here we go. Queen Elizabeth asserts her dominance and prowess as a female leader to highlight her authority. So some examples. I will pick up arms in lines 24 and 25. That's in a good appeal to ethos. So like if you were going to write a paragraph about that, you would want to include that quote. You'd obviously transition into the idea, include the quote, and talk about the appeal to thesis, and then like why is that significant? What does that appeal to ethos do? Another quote I found in there, I know that I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king. I think that quote stuck out to me the first time I read it. So I was thinking imagery. I also feel like that's juxtaposition in a little bit. She's taking like her physical weaknesses and juxtaposing it with like the strength of her heart and her stomach. So what does that tell us about, her, who she is, what she wants to do? I definitely think it shows dominance. So that connects right back into your topic sentence. Then we have line 14, live or die amongst you. I feel like that's an appeal to ethos. I also could see a little pathos in there because I feel like she's talking about her as a leader, which would then connect to the people she is leading. And my loving people. So word choice there. She's speaking to her people. She's calling them loving. I also feel like that would be good for her audience. So those were just 4 lines that I picked up in there that could prove this topic sentence. But when you're picking these, just make sure you're walking yourself through the step. Like just like look at the first, let's look at the second example because I feel like that's a really good one. I know that I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king. So that's imagery. So how does that imagery feed back up into your topic sentence? If you can't connect it, then you probably don't want to use it. If you can connect it, then great. That would be something you would include in your body paragraph. Okay, so for your homework tonight, you're going to find in Google Classroom, it has a short passage and then like it's an illusion evaluation actually. So you're going to pretty much do what we just did. You're going to find 2 different illusions that prove a student sample topic sentence, but then you're also going to take it that step further and kind of fill out that so what in the chart. When you see it, it'll make sense. You can pull it up whenever. But you're just going to say like, does this illusion, well, first of all, what is the illusion? And then how does this illusion feed into the topic sentence? And what is like the purpose of this connection? So just in case you need to know, an illusion is an expression designed to call something to mind without mentioning it explicitly, an indirect or passing reference. To be honest, they can be awfully direct too. My example here is chocolate is my Achilles heel. Achilles was weak in his heel because of the way he was dipped in the river. And so when he gets hit in his heel, that's how he is. That's where he's weak. So if people often use Achilles heel as an illusion when they're talking about something that is their weakness also. So anyway, an illusion is just what another person, place, thing, usually historical, something that we all remember. Like you would never allude to something that someone's not going to understand. Okay, sorry. I had a kid run in here and anyway, you just want to make sure that you're proving you know what an illusion is. First of all, that's a thing here that I also wanted to review. Second of all, like, can you find the illusion? It might be explicit, it might be more implicit, and then can you say why that illusion was good for that topic sentence that we picked? Okay, so there you go for today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.